We talking about sports, get ball.
What it do, baby? Yeah.
What it do, you number one podcast listeners? Back after a hiatus. I know you're getting tired of me telling you that, but nonetheless, we're back better than ever. Number one podcast in your headphones for you, you number one podcast listeners. I'm your host, Premelbot, in case you forgot me. I'm joined by my cousin, my big bro, Roshan. Welcome, man.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. Yeah, it wasn't even me this time that bugged you to get back on here. It's been pretty busy. Feels like these hiatuses are as frequent as the episodes, but we'll get to it.
So,
we'll get
congratulations.
to it.
You played
To
yourself.
be in your defense, the summer is quite slow, so it just happens to be that way. So
We'll get it right. I promise. All right, you number one podcast listeners, you know the drill. Before we get started, a word from our sponsor. This episode of Prem Brulee is sponsored by Sleep Battle, a content creator, photographer, and artist based in Asbury Park, New Jersey. From cinematic stills, unique and classic wedding and elopement photos, even product or commercial photography like you see for the Prem Brulee brand. Sleep Battle is a full-service studio, and stay tuned for their film, Please Laugh, coming soon. Go ahead and visit their Instagram at Sleep Battle. That's SLEEPATTLE. And give at Please Laugh Film a follow while you're at it too. You already know. Number one artist in the game for the number one podcast in your headphones. Don't ever get it twisted.
nice, they're getting into the film game.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. He does everything, it feels like. I don't know how he has enough time, but there he is. But anyway, your number one podcast listeners, got a lot to recap. But without further ado, let's kick things off with Yeah Fam or Nah. And we'll try to rattle these off as quick as possible. Roche, if you're good with that.
Let's do it, man.
Okay, recapping the NBA playoffs. The Denver Nuggets absolutely dominated this playoffs. They won their first title in franchise history by beating the Miami Heat in the finals 4-1. In the Western Conference Finals, they swept the Lakers. Backtracking a little, the Heat were the number 8 seed. They wound up having an improbable playoff run. They beat the number 2 seed Celtics in 7 games to get to the finals. But anyway, Jokic and Murray were on another level. Jokic won Finals MVP, no surprise there. It pretty much went how you thought it was going to go. Once the Nuggets started rolling and they had a healthy team, it didn't look like they could be stopped this playoffs. You yeah fam or not of the playoffs overall?
The playoffs, definitely a yeah fam. Overall, though, I'm going to go with nah fam because, you know, I got to ride with my guy LeBron all the time. I never really thought he'd get as close as he did, and now that he got to the Western Conference Finals, I was really pissed, but happy for Jokic, happy for Jamal. Those two, I swear to God, man, I felt like they did not miss a shot that entire series.
Yeah.
They were playing out of their fucking minds, so well-deserved to both of those guys. Well-deserved to the very mid city of Denver. I'm just kidding. Denver gets a lot of championship love, it seems like. I think the Avalanche just won recently, and Broncos won a few years ago. So they're rolling right now, man.
I was just there visiting some friends who moved there like pretty much out of college, and I was like, man, you've been here, and I think every team except for the Rockies has won a title in that span of time of like 10 years.
Yeah.
So Denver's on another level.
Yeah.
It didn't look like they could be stopped. You're right.
Yeah.
You knew when Jokic was like shot clock winding down, throwing up threes over his head. It was like they weren't going to get beat.
Bro, those were like joke shots we took like growing up, like as like in horse. He's
like you're making fun
him.
of some dude with a weird jump shot. Like he shoots like he's not tall, but he shoots a jump shot like he's got to shoot it over someone.
Yeah.
But when he was making not that he's a bad shooter, but those shots at the end of shot clocks, I think a lot of them were in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
He hit like 2 or 3 of them over Anthony Davis, and it's just like, okay, this one's over. Yeah. I'm a fam. Like, it's cool. The Nuggets, I don't think really piss off anybody as much as Michael Malone will want you to think they do. I do think preemptive, you played yourself. The Nuggets are absolutely missing a chance to brand themselves and align with chicken nuggets. It's a absolute missed opportunity. I was realizing that, like, not enough branding.
Who doesn't love
You
chicken
coulda got
nuggets?
meat about- Exactly. Like, you got to embrace it. I know it was for like mining and stuff, but you got to embrace the now. They're not doing that. So align yourself with a foolproof brand like chicken nuggets.
Yeah, man.
I mean, writes itself. You're welcome in advance.
Yeah.
Okay. Staying in the NBA, this is kind of dominating new offseason news. We're going to get to the rest of the moves here in a second. But, FM or not, are we holding Damian Lillard's trade request against him? So, a little background. Obviously, I think most people know this, but the 7-time All-Star, NBA 75th anniversary team member is entering his 12th season. He has finally asked out of Portland and reportedly only wants to go to Miami. Lillard does not have a no trade clause, but said he won't show up if he's traded elsewhere. Previously, Lillard had remained adamant throughout his career that he didn't want to ring chase or switch teams. The report is that he didn't want to be part of a rebuild. The Blazers are obviously getting younger. They had the number 2 pick. They spent it on Scoot Henderson, who is a very talented player.
Great pick, yeah.
Likely gone number 1 if we didn't have like a freaking unicorn in Victor Wembanyama in this draft. But Lillard doesn't want to be part of another rebuild or a youth movement, so he's finally asked out after years of people thinking he would. So, FM or not, are we holding it against him? Absolutely, you know what brand you tuned in for.
Look, I stay petty, so I don't have to get petty.
Sound that alert, but don't get on your soapbox for years about ring chasing culture of the league, only to then do it essentially. Last I checked, the Miami Heat just made the finals. You'd be joining a team, even if they gut the team, they're gonna keep Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, who were all-stars. So you're joining a team with 2 other all-stars. If that's not ring chasing, I don't know what is. And just for the record, I'm always for a player going where he wants to, where he or she wants to. I'm always for he or she having the power, but the way he did it makes it so lame. I hate that he's been preaching it for so long. You almost had to stick to your guns, or I don't even know why nobody made you like get on that soapbox, and yet here he is backtracking on it. So what about you, man? What do you think?
I'm 100% with you, man. I really soured on Dame throughout this whole process because of the same reasons. Like, he's always been a really likable guy, but I always thought the extremely corny, unnecessary part of him was him doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on being loyal.
Yeah.
I'm 10 toes down, dropping songs about loyalty, all this fucking corny ass shit. And like, you either die on that hill or you're KD. There's really no in between here.
Right.
And why wait till year 12 to become KD? You should have done it before you signed this extension. You would have had a plethora of choices. You would have had much better choices in Miami. Shit, man, he could have gone to anybody. He could have gone to the Rockets with Harden. He could have gone. There's so many options that he had to do this and do it in a much better way. Like, even if Miami guts themselves to get Dame, they lost a bunch of key pieces. They lost Strus. They lost Gabe Vincent. I mean, and they're going to lose Tyler Hero. There's no way this trade goes down without Tyler Hero. So how good is Miami with just 3 guys? You're just the Phoenix Suns all over again. And that's really not a sustainable way to build a team. The Suns, I mean, this might come back and bite me. I don't think the Suns will win a title, even with Beal. They're just one injury from not mattering.
Who's going to play point guard?
Yeah, there's one injury, and that team is fucked. Like, they have no depth. Their backup point guard is trash, probably. I don't have to even check the roster. I don't even know who it is. And, like, it's going to be a bunch of misfits and 3 of the top 20 players, and that's it. You cut 2 of them off, and they're not a championship team anymore.
Totally agree. So we'll see where he winds up. I think the Blazers front office said they're willing to take months if needed. So who knows if he even suits up or if he starts the season with the Blazers, but obviously we'll keep an eye out. I think most definitely the Heat are going to need a third team to facilitate this trade, so I think it's probably a matter of figuring out how the pieces are going to work for that. I'm sure plenty of teams will be interested in like Tyler Hero.
Yeah, for sure.
If the Heat have to let go of Caleb Martin, who did really well in the playoffs, minus the Eastern Conference Finals up until then. or the finals. He did well through the
he balled in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
He was given
he almost
Tatum
won
buckets, yeah.
Eastern Conference MVP. That's right. Okay, let's before we circle back to the NBA, little brief hiatus. We just came out of MLB All-Star break, so you thought these ones up, so I'll let you host this part. How about that?
All right, cool. Yeah. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it is because, I mean, this might be a spoiler to what my answers are, but I really didn't watch any of the All-Star Game or the Home Run Derby. So I guess both All-Star Game, yeah fam or nah, or Home Run Derby, yeah fam or nah.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
So All-Star Game, I watched. I think I tuned in real briefly for like one inning. So I'm a nod of that. I think they're not doing anything to make it like you're watching the best players, but it's not even necessarily the best players because it's all based on votes.
Yeah.
Home Run Derby, I'm usually a game with like yeah fam. I did watch. I think. Starting in the semifinals, I tuned in, so I watched the end of that.
Yeah.
But I'm a nod. The format this year was super chaotic. I'm sure you saw clips of it. But now they do timed rounds, and it's just like it's hard to follow the ball because it's like instead of pitches, they're not following they have like two cameras. You're looking at the batter. You're like, I don't know if that one cleared, and the count's just going up while they're swinging again.
Yeah.
So it was pretty freaking chaotic, I would say. I think it makes it move quicker, obviously, with the time clock, because some of those, you get so many outs or whatever before, made for kind of slow home run derby, but this is kind of a cluster. So what about you?
Yeah, I'm a now fan to both. I think the All-Star Game just ends up typically, I mean, the score was 3-2. All the action happened in the bottom of the eighth. I just don't see a formula where putting out like 10 of the best pitchers with like 6 pitch counts is going to get any offense whatsoever. And I mean, I think that's why anyone watches the NBA All-Star Game is for the offense. No one watches the Pro Bowl, but I think the NBA is the only one who does the All-Star Game remotely okay. But the Home Run Derby, I mean, dude, get a fucking machine. I am sick and tired of watching these grandpa-ass BP pitchers like throw these weird sinkers and curveballs. Like every batter should get the same pitches. I also think, like what you're saying, I think they need to go back to the out system. Like, you don't even, like, if someone hits a 500-foot tank, you have no chance to admire it because by the time it lands, they're already showing the pitch again. And I think, like, last year I realized that, and I'm like, this shit isn't fun. Whereas, like, growing up, you could sit there and admire every single one of, like, Ken Griffey's tanks, man. Like, these guys are like the best hitters in baseball. And also, man, they got to get those kids out of the outfield. I know that one kid took a fucking laser to the head from Vladdy. I would not want to be on the receiving end. I hope that kid's okay.
The kid had his glove in front of his face too and like moved it.
It just
like damn, dude.
It was. I hate laughing, and I'm pretty sure the kid's okay. But Jesus Christ, man, get those kids out of there, or make sure they're like high school kids or something, because it's hard to watch these little 9-year-olds try to catch these like piss missiles, man. Like these guys are just lighting up these balls at like 115 exit velo and just getting wrecked.
For the recap purposes, the NL finally ended their losing streak. I think they had lost 9 straight. They won 3-2 in the All-Star game, and then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Blue Jays won the home run derby. So he and his dad, I think they're the first father-son duo to win home run derby. So that's kind of cool. But you would have liked to enjoy all of them. And then the other part of it is like they're saying like all these records, like most home runs in a home run derby, but like it's kind of like a different format. So you don't really give other people a chance to do the same thing. Yeah. They get a timed round, and then if they hit it so far, they get a bonus amount of clock, and they get a timeout to rest in between. It's like...
It's kind of goofy.
Yeah, of course they're going to hit like in their 20s
Yeah.
of home runs
Yeah.
with that much. But all right, you got anything else related to MLB? I know we're going to talk about it a little later too.
Yeah, I guess at the halfway point, we kind of have a good feeling about, where this season's going. And, everything in baseball kind of changes all the time. Last year, the Phillies got hot. The year before, the Braves got hot. Anything can change. The halfway point is kind of a good indicator. But, this year there's a ton of underperformers. The Mets, the Padres, they spend a lot of money on their payrolls. Both are sub 500 squads. Seattle, they were in the playoffs. I think they're slightly above 500. A lot of overperformers, in my opinion. You got the Marlins, the Rangers, the Reds. Nobody expected these teams to be dominating. And a lot of
people are loving the Reds.
Yeah, Ellie, man, that dude is electric. Yeah. So, and then a lot of injuries. As an Astros fan, I know this firsthand. We're still 2 games behind. We're still kicking. The Yankees, Judge has been in and out of the IL. The Phillies missing Bryce for most of the year. So, a lot of big names missing. What's your give me a phrase for this one, for what you think is going on?
Okay. Season starts soon.
I love it. Yeah, man.
It's only July, baby.
Yeah,
enjoy it.
Yeah, as
I ain't trying to rain on parades or
exactly.
anything.
As fans of teams that their season starts in October, I'm not worried until October.
Yeah.
As your 22 and 2017 World Series champs, looking forward to making another run this year.
Amen. I was mad.
My phrase is money don't buy happiness. The Mets, everyone was just shitting their pants about the Mets, and I was like, did y'all watch JV pitch in the World Series or anything? He don't have it anymore. There's a reason why the Astros didn't pay him, and JV is one of the only players that has gotten a huge contract after his contract ended, and they just didn't offer him money. So, Astros are notorious for letting people walk, which I hate personally. But letting JV walk, I think, was the right decision. Scherzer looks pretty cooked as well. And the Padres, man, what the hell? How does that team suck?
We know firsthand the Astros, it's not always about the payroll.
Yeah, I think they had the 11th payroll last year, and they won the title. So
yeah, and I think it's proven it. We'll see what happens. I think the season starts now. I'm loving it for friends of mine that are Reds fans.
Yeah.
They've dealt with such shitty product and cheap ownership. There's a difference between not overspending, but what the Reds do usually is not. You kind of somewhat hate it because it reinforces cheap habits in MLB, because then they'll be like, see, it worked this year when a little bit of luck is involved. You gotta Ellie's playing out of his mind and ready for the moment. But it's I know a lot of Reds fans back of their mind are thinking, okay, when it's time to pay him, are we going to do that or let him walk again? It just is what it is.
Yeah,
but,
they're going to have to do what the Mariners did with Julio, and they're going to have to pay him right now, or else it's going to cost a lot of money.
Lock it up now, And I think it makes sense to do when you see potential, maybe wait till the whole year you get a bigger sample size. But why would you sign a 10-year contract? This is the time to do it when they're in their 20s, because you actually get their prime out. So if you're gonna sign those huge contracts,
I think as far as the big contracts go, I think the Julio one is the best one. Rookie of the year campaign, they're like, fuck it, let's do it. 12 years. Yeah, it's genius. He's gonna be 32 when that shit's over.
Joe should do it with Pena,
and then you let him walk.
Get him locked up. Yeah, after that big contract, all right, let the Yankees pay him, whatever. let the Mets pay him.
Yeah, seriously.
Whatever the hell it is. But. Yeah, okay. So that was a good ad there. Talk MLB. Yeah, season's going to start mattering here soon.
Go Stros alert. Hose mat alert.
Go Stros. Yeah, amen. You said it best. Okay. I want to quickly recap some NBA free agency. I don't think we need to discuss much because the main one was Lillard, but maybe I'll have you pick one that stands out to you, either good or bad, after I list all these. Okay. So NBA offseason free agency happened. Obviously, there was a lot of re-signing players. I'd say top of the list, kind of surprising, was Kyrie Irving re-signed with the Mavs. Obviously, you kind of figured it was going to happen. The Mavs spent a lot of they spent a lot of capital to get him to Dallas, even though it didn't work out. So it's almost like they had to do it after they let some really good young players go. But it seemed like a lot of things were tying Irving to LA, anyone that would take a chance on him. But ultimately, he got kind of a little bit longer of a deal. That's security for him. But yeah, he's back at the Mavs. The WOT, Draymond, back with the Warriors. The Bucks kept Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez. The Lakers were busy this offseason. As far as re-signing, they kept Rui Hachimura, who they picked up near the trade deadline last season. Austin Reeves they locked up, and they kept D'Angelo Russell. Kyle Kuzma stayed with the Wizards. Jeremy Grant stayed with the Blazers. Cameron Johnson, who is part of the KD trade the other way, he re-signed with the Brooklyn Nets. As far as new teams go, the big money one was Fred VanVleet, went to Houston on a 3-year, I think it was $130 million. Dylan, the new Wout Brooks, we were wrong. We have to admit it. No Guangdong Tigers, but I'm still going to drop that, baby. Drop that Guangdong Tigers.
Guangdong Tigers. Ni hao. Ni hao.
He did a sign and trade. He went to Houston. We mentioned briefly Max Strus earlier. He wound up in Cleveland. That was also a sign and trade, and that was, I thought, a really good move for Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a good pickup for them.
Grant Williams from Boston is now on the Mavs. Dante DiVincenzo was on the Warriors last year. He is with the Knicks. Kind of cool. 3 college teammates are playing together in the Knicks. Villanova, that'd be kind of fun to have. Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, DiVincenzo were all part of that Villanova national champion team.
Yeah, champs too, man. That was a fun year too.
Yeah, so that'd be kind of cool to be getting millions and playing with your bros.
Yeah, they better enjoy that Villanova championship though. That ain't happening in New York.
Exactly. Yeah, then not happening in New York. You're damn right it's not. Bruce Brown Jr. went from the Denver Nuggets. He signed with the Pacers. Gabe Vincent, aforementioned Gabe Vincent, left Miami. He's on the Lakers. And then we did have some trades, obviously. We mentioned it briefly. The Phoenix Suns wound up with Bradley Beal. They traded away Chris Paul, who had a brief stint with the Wizards before he was turned around and traded. I think it took like a week, few days. Chris Paul wound up in Golden State in exchange for Jordan Poole. Kristaps Porzingis went to Boston, and Marcus Smart went as a part of a 3-way trade to Memphis, actually. So there's some other smaller signings, but I chose to kind of narrow it down. Anything that stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll try to pick 1 or 2 of each. I think the re-signs by the Lakers were great. The people they let walk were the ones they should have let walk. I don't really think any of the other ones really surprised me that much. I think Draymond was probably a little bit of an overpay, but it's cool that he gets to stay there. The worst signing, for sure, as a reluctant Houston Rocket fan, what the hell is with the Fred VanVleet? Even the Dylan Brooks contract is not that bad. It's 4 years, 80. I'm like, I guess you could take that. You got a bunch of young guys. Yeah. They need someone kind of hard-nosed to shape that defense. It's fine. Fred VanVleet is painfully average. They're giving him 40 plus a year. That's a crazy shitty contract.
Yeah. I honestly think they got a shit ton of room, and they're trying to maximize Ime Udoka, who, for all his personal things, proved to be a good coach in Boston. So I think he's probably running the ship, and they have money to spend. Yeah. And clearly, just going youth didn't work because they were one of the worst teams. Yeah. So I think they're trying to.
I don't think Ime Udoka is going to sign on to lose a bunch of games and start tanking. So
exactly.
I think they're headed in the right direction. A lot of these pieces they got are ballers. They're just very undisciplined. Yeah. I think he's the right coach for the guy. Hopefully he does not cheat on anybody as a coach. But
he's going to be going out with them.
He's going to find Harden when Harden comes to town. And
no kidding.
And I think the best trade is sneaky Marcus Smart, man. I think him to the Grizzlies is a really nice move by them. Yeah. CP3 doesn't really move the needle for me much. I think
it's a weird fit to me.
Yeah, I think he's way past his prime. He's most definitely going to have to come off the bench. You're not going to be able to have him and Steph on the court, CP running the show. You're going to make Steph a catch and shoot guy. That's not going to work. So I think Marcus Smart is a really nice move for Memphis. I think they definitely got better.
His like breakdown of Boston to Memphis at this point of his career, like, it very closely mimics what happened with Tony Allen.
Yeah,
because they're both
man,
defensive player of the year history. There was like a whole breakdown where it was like so many coincidences.
Yeah.
Like Boston to Memphis, it was like same point in their career, that sort of thing.
Smart got a better jumper though. Tony Allen couldn't shoot worth shit though.
Yeah, Tony Allen was strictly defense. It felt like, but yeah, I like that pick too. I really like the Gabe Vincent move.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that. And then quietly that Max Strus move to Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a great move.
I really, really like that move. They also added Georges Niang, who's like a great shooter.
Yeah.
They're like, you could tell they're trying to make something happen with like, okay, you're going to give it to Donovan Mitchell and Garland, let him cook, and you're surrounding him with shooters.
And they got Imani Bates.
To go along with all that. Yeah, and to go along with all the size they have.
Yeah. I think the Cavs are probably the best they've been since post-LeBron this year.
They had a really disappointing playoffs.
Yeah,
they
really shot the bed, but I think they're headed for greener pastures this year for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how any of the trades are going to work. I don't know about Boston either. I don't know that they got better. They let go of like two really key pieces to their really high-seeded runs.
Yeah.
But who knows? They got to try something different.
Yeah.
So if you're not winning at all, like, I respect the changing it up.
I do too, yeah.
Okay. You already know what time it is, you number one podcast listeners. What you came here for, you played yourself. Let's hit that intro.
Let's get it.
I'm petty as hell. And I'm super petty. Here we Petty Le Pew.
Go. Okay. It is time for You Played Yourself. And you already know this. You come to this podcast for your hockey news.
What it do, baby?
Yeah. As the resident hockey expert, I wanted to start You Played Yourself with some hockey. And you already know what clip I'm going to play, baby.
But hey, as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Okay. This You Played Yourself is truly on brand because I'm throwing a You Played Yourself to the NHL and the Stanley Cup champions, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And you're going to say, yeah, this is the pettiest thing ever, and you're just bitter, and you're damn right I am.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to go
Look,
do.
I stay petty.
First of all,
so I
go
don't have
Jackets,
to
go
get
hockey.
petty.
You already know. But it's utter bullshit that the NHL changed their expansion rules to make brand new teams immediately contenders. For those of you not hockey experts like me, I did a little research for you. Before Vegas became a team, what the NHL did was they changed the rules. They expanded the pool of players available for them to take in their expansion draft, meaning teams couldn't like lock players from being taken from them with this new team. So Vegas ended up with a really damn good squad. This breakdown was from Jeff Tracy of Axios. So he added a little history here. Vegas and Seattle's combination of regular season and postseason success so early in their history stands out among the 11 franchises who've been added to the NHL's modern expansion era. That's since 91. Minus those two teams, that leaves us 9 franchises. 6 of the 9 other teams didn't make the playoffs until their 4th season or later. The other 3 made the playoffs in their 3rd season. So you're looking at all 9 teams not making it till their 3rd or 4th season. You can see where this is heading, but in just 5 seasons of existence, Vegas has made the playoffs 4 times. They've reached the Stanley Cup final twice, and now they've won a title in 5 fucking years of existence. The Seattle Kraken have been around 2 seasons. They have 1 playoff appearance. So they made it in their 2nd year. And they almost made it to the semifinals. They lost in Game 7 of the 2nd round to the Dallas Stars. The Blue Jackets, in 22 seasons, they have 6 playoff appearances. They've never made it out of the 2nd round of the playoffs. So a franchise 2 years old almost made it further than them in their 2nd year. And a franchise 5 years old has already made 2 Stanley Cup finals and won 1. Sure, you could say the franchise doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. But that's not what this You Played Yourselves for. I'm running this show here. In summary, I am going to sound this petty alert because I hate to see this quick success, and I need some roster reparations for these recent teams that have had to suffer. I think it's bullshit. They went in effort to make it the immediate contenders. I think they went too far over that.
Yeah,
kind of wild to me that a team that's just 20 years old can have such a different path than someone who's 5 years old and 2 years old. So that really fucking bothered the hell out of me when Vegas made the Stanley Cup Finals and lost. I think it was in their second season.
Yeah.
That already pissed me off. Like, I think it's kind of bullshit. Like, an expansion team is an expansion team. I know you're paying a lot, but it's not like you're going broke.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, let's do that hockey. You already know you come to me for all the expertise.
Man, I just got educated. I didn't know any of that stuff. Well, I mean, I guess I did. I just didn't really think about it like that, and it's kind of fucked up. But and it feels like a very Homer selection for You Played Yourself, but it is. And who cares? Fuck off. It's our podcast.
Fuck off. Go Jackets, go hockey.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Vegas. Okay. Kind of along the same lines, but I think a lot of people are going to agree on this one, maybe not so much the last one. You played yourself to the PGA Tour Live Golf merger. So since Live began in late 2021, I can't believe it's only been that short of a time.
Yeah, I know.
The relationship between the Saudi-backed league and the PGA Tour has been tense, to say the least. Live poached some big-name players with huge deals. Names like Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka all went over to Live and took huge paydays from that Saudi royalty. On June 6th, these two leagues and the DP World Tour announced they would combine assets. What I've read recently is there's still many details to work out, but there's reportedly like a framework for an official deal to get them merged. So herein lies the You Played Yourself. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan effectively dismounted off his moral high horse and took the same dirty money he preached players against taking previously. Meanwhile, PGA Tour players who remained loyal to the tour were the big losers here.
Yep.
Especially figureheads like Rory McIlroy, who basically was their pseudo representative in the press. Live players were the big winners. They got huge paydays, and now they get to go back to the premier tour in golf after essentially being blackballed from it. And I'll leave you with this as to wrap up this You Played Yourself entry. As Monahan put it last year at the 3M Open in Minnesota, quote, "As long as I'm commissioner of the PGA Tour, no player that took Live money will ever play the PGA Tour again," end quote. That says everything right there.
Send that shit to Old Takes Exposed. That's terrible.
Yeah, fuck off there. I feel awful for the PGA Tour players. I do hate that they rewarded Live Golf players.
Yeah.
It's fine if you're going to take your money, but there's got to be some kind of consequences, and they suffered none of them. And they kind of like rubbed PGA Tour players' nose in it,
For
too.
sure.
I think it's kind of in bad taste, but anyway. Next, You Played Yourself is to myself for not dropping an episode sooner.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
You know, I got to be fair in this category. But shout out to number one podcast listeners, Alex and Craig, for calling your boy out. So this one's for you guys.
That's usually my job, too.
You usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been busy, too.
I'll take some of that,
it's not
too.
Only, no, it's all on me. You know, my name's on here. It's... You are one of the regular co-hosts, but I can't be looking at you every time. It's on me, but I want to shout out Alex and Craig. They were joking with me. They're like, man, I've been checking for new episodes, and I haven't seen one since May, whatever. I was like, oh, it's like that, but I deserve it. So You Played Yourself goes to me.
Hell yeah.
I mentioned this a little earlier, but I have to add a You Played Yourself to Denver Nuggets head coach Michael Malone. Michael Malone told us all playoffs how his top-seeded Denver Nuggets squad was counted out against every team they played, every single chance he got in the press.
Yes.
Yeah, coach. Nobody thought you could be an 8 seed Heat.
Congratulations.
Like,
you
save
played
it.
yourself.
Also, a bonus one to Malone for telling all of Denver at their championship parade they weren't going to let Bruce Brown go, only for him to take a big payday with Indiana. So you played yourself. I got a few before I ask you if you have any. My next you played yourself. I'm a big draft nerd, as people know. NBA draft has to get a you played yourself. They don't announce trades real time, and it absolutely makes their product suffer.
Yeah.
So I looked this up, and actually their NBA policy on draft day deals, NBA teams are prohibited from announcing publicly the terms of any potential trade prior to its completion via a conference call with the league. This applies all year, including the night of the NBA draft. So basically, if teams can't get a conference call done during the draft, it won't get announced. If they do get it done, it gets announced way later in the draft. So what it results in being is you have people who came to the draft and brought their whole families wearing hats of teams they'll never play for, A. And B, the viewers, are busy scrambling trying to figure out who this pick is actually for.
Yeah.
Sure, the networks tell you, but like it's so hard to keep track. The NFL absolutely does the draft perfect, and they announce trades real time. You see that ticker come up, and it's like, oh, a trade's happening, and it's so freaking exciting. The NBA really suffers with that.
Yeah.
So, big you played yourself to the NBA. I think they need to switch that policy. Even if it's only for draft night, it's got to be more efficient than that. Kind of sticking with the NBA, you played yourself goes to bad NBA teams. Apparently, the San Antonio Spurs always get nice things. They won the lottery again and got Victor Wembanyama, who's by all accounts a generational talent. Last time they won the draft lottery, they wound up with a little player called Tim Duncan. You know, sorry to the factories of sadness in the NBA. The Spurs aren't allowed to be a bad team for long, and the ping pong balls made it so. So you played yourself to bad NBA teams.
Yeah.
You can't even tank right. The Spurs never really tried to, and they wind up with Wemby. So you played yourself there.
Yeah, you cannot convince me that this lottery was not rigged somehow. There's just no way. And at the
I'm not even like that, but it's kind of bullshit.
But at the same time, you know, I guess my zag. I feel like I give one zag every episode that I'm on just to honor cousin.
Shout out Vish.
Yeah, my one zag is, if it was rigged for anyone, I'm glad it was the Spurs, and I'm glad it was Coach Pop. That is one guy who's not going to fumble the bag.
He just got paid too again.
I trust Wemby there, but at the same time, I'm still petty. This is still Prem Brulee, #1 petty podcast,
Amen.
and
Sound it, baby.
It's hard as a Rockets fan to not root for a bust. So there's that, and I'm going to be calling him Wembustiama until further notice.
Look, I stay petty, so I don't have to get petty.
Respect it, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Put a guarantee on it and not be held responsible for it. Okay. I wanted to put you played yourself preemptively to a lot of NBA players because the NBA Board of Governors announced or approved 2 rule changes. The first is a second challenge if a coach's first one is successful. Seems like a no-brainer.
Yep.
But the main one is an in-game flopping penalty resulting in a technical foul free throw for the opposing team if someone is deemed to flop. I absolutely love this. It has gotten out of hand, the flopping in the NBA. So I hope they enforce this very rigidly.
Yeah.
So you played yourself to all the NBA players who are trying to win Oscars out there. You're going to cost your team.
Yeah.
It was turning into like men's soccer out there.
Yeah, it was pretty rough to watch.
Okay, you got any sports related ones before we move on to the fun part?
No, I think I'm ready for the fun part.
All right, let's get it. Okay, so you #1 podcast listeners, I'm liking this trend where we add in non-sports ones because this is where this you played yourself brand was kind of built. You want to go first?
Yeah. So my non-sports you played yourself is going to go to just ticketing for concerts in general.
God damn, it's so true.
I don't know. There's always been this like clause in tickets where you buy a ticket and then let's say it's $50, and then by the end of the transaction you have spent $78. And it's like, now I feel like, so the other day I had bought 2 tickets to a concert. I think the tickets were $40. I had bought a pair, and it was $118. That is essentially like I bought 3 tickets.
You almost paid for a third ticket, yeah.
There's a third ticket in fees. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Crazy.
Fuck off. I don't know how much more capitalism this country needs. That's crazy. It's making it very hard to support artists. And like also this verified fan bullshit while we're shitting on Ticketmaster and Live Nation. This verified fan bullshit where you gotta like register to be a fan, and then all these like bots are taking over, and it stinks. I got a couple more. I live in a city where I come. Let me backtrack. I come from Houston, which is a true foodie town. There's a lot of really great food there. A lot of different like diverse ethnic cuisines, and you can find pretty much anything there. Austin, where I live, where I live now, Austin, they claim to be a foodie city. The foodie culture here is absolutely fraudulent. It's actually cocktail culture. Every restaurant you go to has $15 to $18 cocktails, and then they parade around this like very average, mediocre menu. And there's always like glazed carrots or Brussels sprouts on there somehow. And it's like, how the fuck did glazed carrots get on a Greek menu? That shit is not, you're not fooling me, bro. That shit is not foodie culture. Your cocktail bar parading around with food. I'm not buying it. And then the last one I'll throw in, just because of what's been going on for my personal job, micromanaging bosses. Y'all need to hop off. We're remote workers. Hop off, man. That's about it.
From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
In general, remote or not, can't do it.
Don't be hovering over my work. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Love those. That's a great point regarding like, that's cocktail culture, because I think every city probably has those where you're like, maybe you convince yourself the food's good just because it has a high price point. And
it's
the
not.
Cocktails are fancy. Yeah.
So the next time you go out to dinner with Steph and it's a nice like date night, and you went to a nice restaurant and you get your bill and it's like $100, just look at what you paid for and be like, damn, I got a plate of pasta and like 2 cocktails, and it ran me a check. Nah, fuck off.
No way. No, thank you.
I'm familiar with your game. You can't fool me.
Been here before.
Yeah.
Okay. My non-sports you played yourselves. First up, listen, I know I might catch some flack for this, but I honestly don't get how people don't respond to text messages at all. Like, I know y'all don't have that much of a life. What system do you employ where it results in you not ever responding? I get, forgetting or slipping your mind, or I think a major culprit these days is like smartwatches that read text messages because it marks them red and people forget. Like, honest mistakes, get all those. But intentionally being bad at responding is so odd to me. I genuinely don't get it. I've asked friends, and like, if you're out there, some of my closest friends suck at this, so they know I love them. I've said it to their face, so this isn't anything new. And I promise those of you out here, you think it's about you, you're not alone. So it's not only about you. There's a lot of people like this. I just genuinely don't get it. So it's found its way on You Played Yourself, because I don't get the concept of not ever responding or being bad at it, so much so that people can't trust you'll respond or you're known for it. And then don't even get me started on the ones that take pride in not answering anything. Like, there are people guilty of this where they're like, oh no, I don't do group messages. What the fuck you mean you don't do group messages? What does that mean? You don't like convenience of communication? If you don't like notifications, I get that, like silencing it, but what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to communicate? You want it only on your terms? You have an outlined terms that you prefer, but like, group messaging is convenient and it's interactive. It's like virtually being in the same space as people you love.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't get the taking pride in it. Also, not answering text is not a personality trait. You being proud to not be dependable is odd to me.
Yeah.
It's genuinely odd to me. It makes no fucking sense. Yeah. I was joking with this. Like, I got a friend who's a lot like me, where we're like talking with another friend who knows he's bad at responding. And the two friends are best buds. So he's like, oh, I know it means a lot to you to spend time. He's like, nah, actually, like, just answering means a lot to me. I was like, I had this realization, like, people always talk about the love languages. I think there should be a sixth one, reciprocation, because that shit is my love language.
For sure. That's like right on.
Right? Yeah. I think it shows, like, I mean, at the bare bones, like, a lack of respect. Basically, like, oh, I know they don't intend for this to, but eventually a built-up non-response shows you don't care enough.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Your actions are speaking for you.
Yeah.
Because you didn't speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking bars, baby.
Hell yeah.
I just thought of that.
There you go.
You heard it here live, baby.
Man, that was you snuck a too much sense in this bitch too.
I know I did, man. Damn. I feel like I've talked about reciprocation, so I wanted to put.
I mean, I kind of agree with that one a lot. I have a lot of people that are like that. Let me tell you, as someone who permanently has do not disturb on my phone, I have do not disturb on my phone. If you text me, I do not hear it. I do not, but I check. I know, like, we're in this culture where we check our phones all the time. We're looking at it, and I realize that, and this goes back to COVID.
Yeah, me too.
So it's like I check my phone anyway. I'm gonna check it at some point within the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes, even if I'm at work, probably once an hour.
Yeah.
So I will see your text message, and maybe hour and a half is like the little threshold I've given myself. And I don't really want to hear it. You know, I have an Apple Watch. I don't want to hear that shit buzzing all day. I don't want to feel the little haptics, whatever. I don't ever let shit go unanswered. So if I can do it without any notifications, you can do it. And I know your ass has them notifications on.
Yep.
You're not fooling anybody. Cut that shit out.
Yeah, like, you need a different system. Like, don't mark them red. I don't know what to tell you. You suck at it.
And that's the thing, is a lot of those people really need read receipts, because if they're not gonna read receipts, if they're not gonna respond right there, don't mark it. So that way I know you haven't seen it yet, so I don't need to worry about your response. But when you have it seen and you don't respond and we don't know, I don't like being on that, like, you know. Yeah. That's like the 10% codependent part of me. I'm like, yo, bro, just answer the damn phone.
Yeah. Anyway, and my other one, we just went through this, but you played yourself to rental car agencies. How has that industry not gotten any quicker? Like, you've been able to book online for years now, but it effectively saves you very little time to no time, because you booked online and then you still have to wait in a line, and then you do 20 minutes of, like, paperwork or bullshitting with a desk attendant just to get keys to the rental car that you already paid for. We were in Colorado recently. It took fucking forever to get a rental car that was already paid for. Like, it should not take that long. There's got to be a streamlined way. Everything else is getting quicker. It seems like rental cars are getting slower. So, anyway.
I guess you could say the truth hurts.
Nailed it.
Got him. Dad joke for y'all.
Nailed it.
It's a dad joke for the dad. Yeah, hurts. Cut the check, bro.
No free ads. No free ads. Yeah. Never again. Okay. As a thank you to you, number one podcast listeners, I had when Roche and I talked about recording and figuring out when we were recording, I randomly texted you and was like, I think I got a new segment idea.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were on board. You hit me with a few crying, laughing emojis. So, without further ado, we're debuting a brand new category.
Let's go.
Just for you, number one podcast listeners, as a mea culpa for this hiatus for no reason. This segment is called Am I Hatin'? You already know in the future we're going to add maybe an intro, maybe a sound clip to introduce this. But this is brand new just for you guys. So, this segment called Am I Hatin'? We say statements that are most likely clearly hating, but this is a safe space, so we drop them anyway. Yeah. You already know the vibes of this podcast. So, without further ado, I will go first because this is what prompted this segment. Mm-hmm. Rush, am I hating if I say I'm happy for all my friends who went to go see Taylor Swift, but I think that the concert being life-changing is a little too much, a little too far?
Yeah, like, you're definitely hating.
Am I hating?
Yeah, you're definitely hating.
I'm hating?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, either way, it's a safe space, so I'm definitely hating. Maybe I can understand this. Like, are they saying it's life-changing because of how the tickets will impact their long-term finances, though? Maybe that's what they mean, life-changing. They've dropped so much money.
I mean, yeah, them shits are running up a check, so...
Yeah, so maybe so. Am I hating? Most likely yes. The answer is usually yes, but also maybe not. Maybe some of you out there feel the same as I do. I still love all you T Swift fans in my life. I have so many of them, but I think we need to relax on your life changing or something like best day of my life. Can't believe I saw this. Like, I think we can relax a little bit, maybe. But you gotta. Am I hating for me?
I mean, I got one adjacent to yours. We were just, I think, secretly, the conversation we were having in our family group chat is maybe what prompted this. We were talking about the Drake tour. It's all a blur. We were talking amongst ourselves about going, not going, things like that. And I just, for some reason, I don't know, maybe I was stressed at work, or, maybe I'm just a fucking hater. I was like, there's no point in going to this show. I stood on a hill. I personally have seen Drake 7 times, so it's a very odd stance to take. I was just like, why the fuck is anyone going to see this tour? This tour is stupid, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what got me into it, but I'm like, Drake has the worst crowd. You're just going to be standing behind a bunch of people with a bunch of phones, a bunch of ladies who got way too dressed up thinking Drake's going to pick them. And I was just on a tear hating. So for any of you who spent anywhere from, I know the minimum was like $200. If you spent more than $200 to see Drake and 21 Savage open for Drake, I am hating on you. That tour, I don't care. That set list looks great. I don't know, man. I'm hating. I think you've seen one Drake tour, you've seen them all. I don't care that the set list changes. Save your money, guys. There's a lot of other bands that you can pay for, and just go do that instead.
Save your money.
Yeah. And I mean, no shot to Drake, man. He's putting out bangers. He's got a lot of good albums under his belt. The set list is incredible, but save your money, man. Like, you're just going to be behind thousands and thousands of people watching that shit on their phone, which was also a non-sports you played yourself for me, if you back call. And then,
you talked about that.
Just a lot of people doing the most for no reason.
Roche definitely hating. We were talking about, this set list is fire, and Roche proceeded to say he wasn't going to go, and let me tell you why it's going to suck even if you go.
That's really on brand
it's
for me. It's so
on brand.
Yeah, it's really on brand for me.
It really is, and it's kind of on brand for our family group chat because you already know we keep that energy. So Am I Hating's perfect for us.
Hell yeah. And honestly, I kind of accidentally already did one too. Rewind back a little bit to the Victor Wembanyama thing, and I was just, am I hating on if I want a 19-year-old to be a bust? Yeah, I am. Yeah. It's all right. I'm okay with that. I can sleep at night.
Yeah. Am I hating on the Vegas Golden Knights? You're damn right I am. But I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's a safe space, baby.
Let's get it.
That's what this is all about. So, you number one podcast listeners, you have to let me know. Always appreciate the feedback. If you dug this new segment, Am I Hating? This is a safe space for us all. So if you have any for me, I'm willing to hear them out. Always down. If you drop a sound clip, we'll feature you on Am I Hating?
Absolutely.
This is just the genesis of this section, so we'll see what it grows to. But I really enjoyed it. It's fun to add in that little wrinkle where you kind of know, hey, I am being a hater, but I need to get this off my chest. And that's what we do here, baby.
Hey, real quick, before we move on, I'm not hating on this, but I'm actually quite loving this. For some reason, it feels like on this episode of this podcast, you have been dropping some bars, bro. You said mea culpa. You said the genesis of. Rewind a little bit. You said dismounting off of a moral high horse. I'm like, bro, sounds like he read a book recently, man.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Dude, it sounds like I got a thesaurus down here. You'll never know. The camera's not going to pan. I peek behind the curtain. I wrote the moral high horse one, but the other ones were off the top of the dome.
That's what's up.
I will fess up to the moral high horse.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, I do use the quote like dismount off your high horse to like in language before, so that one's not completely no, but I appreciate the shout out.
Even though, man, all those are way more creative than what Drake is doing on tour, so there you go.
And full circle, baby. That's what we do.
I had to bring it back to hating. I had to bring it back to hating a little bit.
Man.
Was getting too chummy
on
around
brand,
here.
Baby. Everything for you, number one podcast listeners. Let's move on to who you got and what you feeling. Our last episode was a while ago, but just for cohesion's sake, we talked about winners and losers of the NFL draft. That had just wrapped up, and a lot of first-round exits happened in the past year, so we talked about some big ones for top seeds. And anyway, this episode, we are connecting what we talked about earlier. We're doing a little MLB Who You Got. So since you were the spearhead of this, I'll let you lead this Who You Got MLB edition.
All right, Who You Got and What You Feeling MLB edition. We're going to do, we've played this game before, MLB Contender or Pretender. You know, we kind of run through a few teams. I selected 3 teams for this section. So let's run through them. First off, I'm going to go with the AL dominating force right now, the Tampa Bay Rays first.
I'm going to go contender with the Rays.
Yes.
I think they have like a solid history of doing well in the regular season leading into the playoffs. So I think that goes a long way when you have people that have been there, done that. So I'm definitely contender there.
For sure. They definitely build their teams based off analytics, which is something our team likes to do. It is a very proven method as of late. So I'm going to ride with them. They're definitely going to win that division, I feel like. So the next one on the list is the Cincinnati Reds. Are they a contender, or are they overachieving, or are they pretenders?
So I go back and forth with this because like teams that get really hot, I worry about like breaks because then they have the All-Star break and things change. I'm gonna manifest this I got a lot of Reds fans in my life. I want them to be happy, so I'm gonna say contender for this, but it's a very cautious contender.
Nice, cautious contender. That's a pretty good phrase. There you go. There's another bar right there.
Bars.
I'm gonna actually be a hater here and say they're a pretender. But I'm gonna give you a caveat. They remind me a lot of the 2015 Astros. They're very fiery. They have a bunch of young shiny stars that are gems in the making. I don't think their pitching is quite there. I see them getting into the wild card game and losing. That's like the wild card series, I guess now. That's I think their peak this year. So not a contender. I think they'll probably win the division, but that division sucks, so it's whatever.
Yeah, the division is really struggle.
And our last contender and pretender is a fun one for us. I saved it for last because it's the Texas Rangers.
You already know what we're saying for this,
yes, sir.
We're unanimous.
Yes, sir.
Fuck off, Rangers.
I literally just did this so I could dunk on them. I mean, let's be real. We know that's what happened.
You know what time it is. Season starts. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. All right. And then the next MLB bit I had is there's a lot of seemingly toss-up divisions this year, which is great for baseball. I think baseball is probably the only sport where I see a lot of parity. I see a lot of I mean, outside of the Astros, of course, honestly, the Dodgers for their division. I think
regular season Dodgers.
Yeah, I think every year it seems to be 2-3 new teams that just came up out of nowhere, managed to get in the playoffs and make some noise.
You're right though, like what you said at the top, money doesn't buy everything. So I think that's a result of that. Yeah,
and I think their draft process and their AAA and all that shit is just very complicated and plays into all this. But all right. So these toss-up divisions, I picked 4 divisions because the other 2 are kind of pretty runaway divisions. We'll stick in the NL first. NL Central will go first. The Reds or the Milwaukee Brewers. I think both are pretty neck and neck. I think the Reds are 1 game up right now. They are a 50-win team, which is really impressive. So, who you got for
I'm going to stick with my earlier manifestation. I'm going to go with the Reds here to win that division.
Cool. I think I'm honestly with you. A lot of this is hinging on what Milwaukee does at the trade deadline. A lot of people are saying they're going to be sellers. So if they're sellers, they're basically handing the division over. But I think Cincinnati would probably win it anyway. All right. The next NL division is the Dodgers or the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are very good this year. They are giving everyone a run for their money. Who you got in this division?
I'm still going with the Dodgers. These are one of those teams where I'm okay, what have you done for me lately? And I think people with a history of success tend to turn it on in the second half and do it when it matters. So, unfortunately, go with the Dodgers.
There's too many ballers on that team for it not to work out that way. The Diamondbacks are super young, really fun team, honestly. But, yeah, I think the Dodgers are going to take that division. I think they're going to actually end up running away with it.
Yeah, right now, out of the All-Star break, that one, they're tied right now for the division lead.
Okay, yeah.
But heading into the All-Star break, Dodgers won 7 of their last 10.
Yeah, they're hot.
Diamondbacks 4 and 6.
Yeah. So it's already starting the law of averages,
Yep.
All right, and moving over to the AL, we're going to go AL Central next. We got the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians. Two perennially, actually everyone in this division is very mediocre. I think the leader is 500 right now.
Trash division.
Yeah. Who you got in this division?
I'm going to go with the Guardians. Their bullpen's been really good, so I think that goes a long way in the long term, and you don't really have to be too good in that division, so I think it'll be the Guardians.
Nice. I'm going to go with the Twins, and it's not for the reason you think. It's because I bet my friend $50 that the Guardians win the division, so that's the only reason I'm going to cover. I'm going to say, I'm like, he's like, the Guardians are going to be a threat next year. I'm like, man, they won't even win the division. So we made a bet. It's in my phone. I just saw it. I'm supposed to check it at the end of September. Did the Guardians win the division? $50. It's not a lot, but it's $50. So I'm going to go with the Twins on that. Plus, Carlos Correa is, 2017 World Series champ, is on that squad. I got to ride with him.
Don't ever play yourself, baby.
All right, and the last one is the AL West. The two teams in question are the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners, because I do not think the Texas Rangers will be winning that division.
That's awesome.
Sound that petty alert. Sound that shit. Petty alert. And in honor of college football being around the corner, the Texas Rangers are baseball's the team up north. All right?
I love that.
The team up north,
genius.
the Dallas Rangers. All right? The Dallas Rangers are frauds. You can book that shit. All right? They are. I think I saw a stat that they're like sub 500 against anyone with a plus 500 record. Outside of the A's and the Royals, they have a losing record. So they're already trending the ways that all of us expected them to play. You can book that shit. They can hang the banner for the most All-Stars. I know they were pumping that shit up on their social media. By the way, all their All-Stars went 0 for 9. None of them reached base. And the first year that the AL loses in 10 years is the year that a bunch of Rangers were starters. So I don't make the rules, man. These aren't coincidences. They are chokers. They're back-to-back World Series losers. Never forget. They were 1 out away both times from being champs, and they lost. So
look, I stay petty so I don't have to get petty.
That's my rant against the Rangers. And who you got, Seattle or the Astros?
You know what time it is,
You already know what time it is, baby.
Yeah, like, come on. This ain't even a question.
Yeah.
Season starts soon. Like, we'll see y'all in September and October. Don't worry.
I think the Mariners. I think the Mariners are a really good team. I think they play us better than anybody. I think they have a winning record against the Astros this year. We are quite injured. That doesn't really. I don't make excuses for that, but I think they're the biggest threat in the division. If they didn't run into us last year, they would have been an ALCS team for sure. They would have ran through the Yankees. They would have ran through anyone in that. They just ran into us. I think the Astros won that series by like 4 runs.
What ended up happening?
Oh, it was a sweep. It was a sweep. But it was a very nail-biting close sweep. It wasn't like the Yankee sweep. That was just a...
Shout out Jordan.
Yeah.
He got a nice ovation of boos at the All-Star game. That
man.
was awesome.
Seattle fans are such babies, man.
Yeah.
They rain boos on Kyle Tucker, Jordan Alvarez, and Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
None of who were on the 2017 team.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Rent-free, baby.
Love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Okay, what are you feeling lately, man?
What am I feeling lately? Man, The Bear Season 2. That shit was
still gotta watch
fantastic.
that shit.
You need to get on it ASAP. I think your brother just texted me like last week saying that he caught up. He loved it as well. Season 2, the rare capability of making a second season that's better than the first season. I was super impressed with the second season. It was really engaging.
Reverse shout out The Wire.
Yeah, and the first season was so good, and I remember being like, man, this show is gonna go downhill so fast, because it seemed like they just used up all their ideas. They killed it, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, I went to Cabo last week with my girlfriend. We got a few trips planned for the fall. We moved into a new apartment, and don't really care about having birthdays, but I have a birthday coming up this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I don't really care about the old birthday thing. I don't really celebrate too hard, but people are always nice. I don't really need the attention, but the narcissist devil on my shoulder, enjoys people reaching out, and like it's nice, man. It's cool to connect with people throughout.
July 15th, everybody reach out to Royce.
Yo, hell
his
yeah.
birthday. Hell yeah. We love to celebrate it.
Yeah.
We love you, man.
Yes,
Big
sir.
weekend.
For sure.
You don't have to celebrate it, but we celebrate you.
For sure. Thank you, man.
What I'm feeling lately, I got a few hip-hop related ones.
Right.
Juvenile's Tiny Desk for NPR
So
was
good.
So fun
So
to watch,
good.
man. If you grew up anywhere near like the early 2000s,
baby. Yeah.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was so nostalgic,
Yeah.
and it looked like so much fun to be there.
Yeah.
And then Offset and Quavo performing at the BET Awards as the Migos in tribute to Takeoff gave me goosebumps. That shit was sweet to see. They were reportedly like beefing for a while and all that stuff, so I was glad that they put things aside and did that performance. It was very cool how they set that up, and so love that.
Yeah, and Juvenile's Tiny Desk, I remember I guess all these things resurfaced, but he had tweeted about it, and he was like, should I do it? Like, he didn't even know what it was or anything. Like,
he didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm
no,
like,
he said, fuck
look
Tiny Desk
at
or
the
something
product that came from that, and it's it's such a cool thing, man.
Yeah. It's a cool thing. That's like a rare dub by the internet.
For sure.
Right there. Like, it just picked up steam and they got him there. So it was dope. He had Manny Fresh there.
Yes.
He had some New Orleans legends and Grammy winners, John Batiste and was it Trombone Shorty?
Yes,
came
Trombone
out
Shorty.
for
It was
Back
fire.
That Ass Up. It was dope. So if you get a chance, check that out. Also, I got a little bonus one. What I'm feeling lately is people in my life out there knowing that I'm Team Crocs and knowing that I'm not Team Hiking out there. I can't tell you. It seems like a few times a week I get social media posts. Like, it clearly seems that comfort on the feet, heat in the street is well known so much that I get those posts. Anything Croc related is sent to me or tagged. And even more prideful probably is people knowing how much I despise hiking. Honestly, like, what a stupid thing people have decided to do. Like, y'all seriously have convinced yourself that you like it. Like, it's like the duvet covers of activities. And also, don't get me started on trail runners. I just learned this was a thing. Who the fuck do y'all think you are? Like, running's not good enough for you. You have to add in things that could trip you. Like, what dumbass does that? And if you're a trail runner out there, like, fuck off, okay? Also, we do realize people had to hike to get their food and find new homes in the old days, and y'all trying to make it fun. Like, survival was trying to make it into a fun activity by you people. And then you tried to rebrand going on a walk into something different. Like, hiking is the aioli of walking's mayo. That's what you did.
Bars, man.
It's the same shit.
That's hilarious.
It's the same shit. So,
Hiking is
and
the
then I get
aioli.
hit with this, like, but Prem, it's good exercise. You know what's better? Any fucking thing else. Any exercise besides hiking is better than hiking. That being said, I still give my wife one hike a year. I love her that much. So
That's real love, man.
here we are. That is real love. If you know me, you know that. That's real love. Nobody got to question it. They just know that fact, and then you know, oh, okay, he really loves her then. So anyway, I know you're a big hiker. My whole family's full of one. I'm married into a family that loves hiking.
I'm actually not a big hiker. I don't dislike it. I mildly enjoy it, and that's about it. I don't love it.
Okay.
I mildly enjoy it. I think the sightseeing is worth.
Prefer if you mildly disliked it.
That's fair. Well, whatever.
Oh, you ever want to piss off someone who enjoys hiking? Hit them with this. Oh, but I don't need to go on the hike. You sent me pictures and videos of it, so it was like I was there.
Legit.
They hate that
That's
shit,
legit.
bro. They hate
That's
that
legit.
shit. They hate that shit.
Yeah, if I loved it, I would hate that for sure. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, bro, you're not getting the experience. Nah, yeah. You know they're punching air.
It's cool. Yeah.
They're punching fresh mountain air.
You're right. But it's right on brand with the family, you know, double and triple down.
Have to.
That's where we're at. All right, let's wrap up this episode. You already know how I like to conclude each one. It is time for Too Much Sense. So let's drop that intro. Okay, you number one podcast listeners, my Too Much Sense for this episode is sometimes you can overthink something so much that you convince yourself there are problems that aren't even there. If you find yourself overthinking something to the point where you go back and forth, like, what should I do? Enlist a confidant or a professional if problems are deeper than surface level that you can open up to, so you can kind of say you're overthinking out loud and get feedback. You kind of get feedback by saying it out loud yourself, because sometimes you can ping pong in your head so much that you make something bigger than it is, but by saying it out loud it could help you, or that person that you trust could give you great feedback. Chances are you'll be able to bring up what you're overthinking to the source, or just feel better by talking it through. And I think when you're too close to the overthinking and you're in your own head, you can blind yourself from a likely obvious solution to those problems. So that's my Too Much Sense for this week.
Yeah, man. Nailed it.
Simplify the overthinking by enlisting some help.
For sure.
But anyway, you number one podcast listeners, we're back. It was a long hiatus, but I called myself out for it. We delivered on a brand new segment of the podcast. So I'm hoping that makes up for part of it. I know I'm not totally off the hook, but I appreciate you number one podcast listeners for tuning in. I appreciate you, Roche, for joining me.
Man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. And you number one podcast listeners, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, review, tell a friend to tell a friend. Pass along this podcast to people you love, even people you're mildly acquainted with. I appreciate it. And let me know your thoughts on the new segment, Am I Hatin'? If you don't remember what it's called, it's the title of this episode, conveniently, because a brand new segment calls for it. So that being said, you number one podcast listeners, appreciate you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next episode.
Yes, sir. Peace.